Aokigahara Forest, Japan. Known as the Suicide Forest, Aokigahara rests in the shadow of Japan's iconic Mount Fuji, its dense canopy swallowing light and sound alike. Step inside, and the world-changes footsteps are muffled by thick moss, the wind rarely stirs, and an uncanny stillness settles over you. Birds, so common in other forests, seem to avoid this place entirely. Even compasses, reliable in the harshest terrains, sometimes falter here, their needles spinning or pointing stubbornly in the wrong direction. Locals whisper that the forest has a pulse of its own, fed by centuries of tragedy. Folklore tells of restless spirits, yurei, bound by sorrow or rage, drifting between the twisted trunks. They say these spirits call softly to those who wander too far, their whispers curling into the mind like smoke, promising peace, promising release, urging visitors to stay forever. Trails are few and quickly swallowed by the vegetation, stray from them, and the trees seem to close in, making every direction feel the same. Sunlight filters weakly through the tangle above, dim even at midday. The deeper you go, the more you feel the forest watching, breathing, waiting. Here, silence is not absence but presence, a heavy, unshakable weight pressing on the chest. It's a place where the living feel the thinness of the line between life and death, and where the forest seems almost eager to blur it entirely. In Aokigahara, the air itself carries the memory of those who came before and never left. The Catacombs of Paris, France. Beneath the charming streets and glittering lights of Paris lies a world far removed from the laughter of cafes and the glow of the Eiffel Tower. Hidden deep underground, an immense network of tunnels stretches for miles, lined with the carefully stacked bones of more than 6 million people. Skulls stare blankly from the walls, their hollow sockets frozen in silent witness to centuries gone by. The air here is cold, damp, and heavy, thick with the scent of stone and earth. Water drips slowly from the ceiling, each drop echoing like a clock marking time that no longer matters. Light from a torch barely pushes back the darkness, revealing endless corridors that twist and turn until all sense of direction fades. In the stillness, a strange feeling creeps in, an awareness, as though the dead are not content to simply rest. Some explorers speak of hearing faint footsteps just beyond the reach of their light, the sound matching their pace before stopping abruptly when they pause. Others claim to hear whispers, too soft to understand, yet close enough to make the skin prickle. Down here, the weight of history presses against you, the bones a silent reminder that the city above is built on layers of the dead. Every passage feels the same, and without a guide, it's dangerously easy to lose your way. Time ceases to have meaning, and the darkness feels endless. In the catacombs, you are never truly alone. Something unseen seems to walk with you, watching, waiting, just beyond the light. Island of the Dolls, Mexico. South of Mexico City, hidden among the winding canals of Xochimilco, lies a place unlike any other. A small, eerie island where hundreds of dolls dangle from the trees. Their bodies sway gently in the wind, their cracked faces stained by years of rain and sun, their empty eyes fixed on whoever dares to approach. Some are missing limbs, others are headless, their plastic skin peeling and mottled with mold. The island's grim collection began with one man, Don Julian Santana, who claimed he discovered the body of a drowned girl nearby. Haunted by her spirit, he began hanging dolls in the trees to ward her off, believing their lifeless gaze would keep her away. Over decades, the dolls multiplied, until the island became a forest of silent watchers. But visitors swear the dolls are anything but silent. At night, when the canals grow still and the moonlight filters through tangled branches, faint whispers seem to drift through the air. Some say the doll's eyes shift, tracking your every move. Others claim to have seen heads turn ever so slightly, as if following them. The air is thick and heavy, carrying the scent of damp wood and decay, and the creak of rope swaying in the wind can sound disturbingly like soft breathing. Here, surrounded by countless lifeless faces, you can't shake the feeling that you're being watched not by something alive, but by something patient. On the island of the dolls, even the silence feels alive, and it never lets you forget it. Pripyat, Ukraine. Once a thriving Soviet city just a short distance from the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, Pripyat now lies in haunting stillness, a ghost frozen in the moment disaster struck. On the 26th of April, 1986, the explosion at reactor number 4 forced the evacuation of all 50,000 residents, leaving behind schools, homes, and playgrounds abandoned in an instant. Decades later, the streets remain eerily intact yet overgrown as nature slowly swallows what humanity left behind. Trees sprout through cracked pavement, vines crawl over concrete walls, and rust consumes swings that will never move again. The iconic Ferris wheel, once a beacon of joy, stands motionless in the central square, its faded yellow cars creaking in the wind. Radiation still lingers in the soil and air, a silent danger that time cannot erase. Visitors describe an unsettling quiet, broken only by the rustle of leaves or the distant clang of unseen metal. Some claim to hear faint, metallic echoes, footsteps on forgotten stairwells, doors shutting somewhere deep inside an empty building. Others speak of soft, fleeting laughter, the kind only children make, carried through the desolate streets, though no children remain. Peering into deserted classrooms, toys still sit on dusty desks, as if waiting for their owners to return. Dolls lie, staring at the ceiling. Textbooks remain open mid-lesson, and personal belongings sit untouched, suspended in time. In Pripyat, every shadow feels like a memory, and every sound reminds you that some tragedies never truly fade. They linger, just out of sight, watching from the silence. Poveglia Island, Italy. Off the coast of Venice, hidden behind a shroud of history and fear, lies Poveglia Island, often called the most haunted island in the world. Small and unassuming from a distance, its crumbling buildings and overgrown paths conceal centuries of suffering. In the 18th century, it served as a quarantine station for plague victims. Those who showed the slightest sign of illness were brought here, many never to return. Mass graves filled with countless bodies still rest beneath the soil, their ashes said to mix with the earth itself. Later, in the early 20th century, a mental hospital was established on the island. Whispers tell of patients subjected to cruel and inhumane treatments, their cries swallowed by the thick walls of the decaying asylum. The doctor who oversaw the hospital allegedly met a mysterious end, falling or perhaps being pushed from the bell tower that still looms over the ruins. Today, the buildings are silent, their windows gaping like hollow eyes. Fishermen steer clear of its shores, claiming their nets have pulled up bones instead of fish. Visitors who have dared to step onto the island speak of strange shadows moving through the fog, disembodied voices echoing in the empty halls, and an oppressive feeling as if the air itself resists your presence. The ground feels unsteady, as though it remembers every life lost here. On Poveglia, the past doesn't rest quietly. It seeps into the walls, the earth, and the mist, waiting for anyone bold or foolish enough to disturb it.